Mr. Norris never waited for an answer. She'd noticed that before. She didn't know if it was because she was so slow, or if he was like that with everyone. "I don't need a lift." "Course you do. You've got that heavy bag." He was smiling at her, his eyes fixed on hers. She stared at the bridge of his nose, unaware that it made her look slightly cross-eyed. "How come your mum didn't pick you up?" "I can manage." It wasn't a proper answer, and Chloe's palms were wet from the fear he'd ask again. But there were good things about being thick, and not having to answer questions properly was one of them. "Now, you don't have to manage. Stick your bag in the back and jump in." There was no point in arguing, Chloe knew. She trailed to the other end of the car and put her hand on the latch for the boot. It clicked, and she tried to lift it. Nothing happened. She returned to the window. "It's locked." "Not the boot. Put it on the back seat, I meant." He bit off the ends of the words, obviously annoyed. And he hadn't said the boot, Chloe thought, mortified. He'd said the back, and she'd assumed he meant the boot. She'd got it wrong, as usual. She fumbled one of the doors open and dumped her bag on the seat, then opened the passenger door and hesitated. "Get in! What are you waiting for?" He was checking his mirrors, scanning the pavements. Getting ready to drive off, Chloe thought, remembering that, and not much more, from the 3 humiliating lessons that were the sum total of her driving experience. She got into the car, scrambling to close the door and get her seatbelt on before he got annoyed again. He helped her with the seatbelt, smoothing it out carefully across her lap before he slid the metal tongue into the lock. The belt flattened the thin, sodden material of her t-shirt against her body, and she thought he was staring at her chest for a second. But he wasn't, probably. That was just her stepmother and what she'd said. He was a dad, after all. He was old. "So, where have you been? Away somewhere nice?" "Dad's." "Oh, yeah?" Mr. Norris went quiet for a minute, concentrating on the road. It didn't occur to Chloe that he was choosing his words carefully. "See much of him?" "No." "I've never actually met him." Chloe stared out of the window, not thinking about her father and the last time she'd seen him, not thinking about how angry he would be now that he'd realized she was gone. Not thinking about that took up all of her mental energy. He might have phoned her mother, she thought with a sudden lurch of fear. She hadn't thought of that. Mr. Norris was talking, words filling the air in the car, telling Chloe about his weekend, about Bethany, and what she was doing during the school holidays. About nothing that mattered to her. She stopped listening, drifting a little as the windscreen wipers sang across the glass, until something touched her knee. Mr. Norris's hand was on her leg. She stared at it in mute panic until he moved it away. "We're here." The car had stopped outside her house, she realized, the engine still running. "You can get out here. I won't make you run across the road in this weather." "Okay, thanks." She reached down to push the seatbelt's release button, but he got there first. "Thanks," she said again. "No problem." He was frowning at her. "Chloe, love, you all right? You look a bit—" "I'm fine." She pulled on the door handle, and it didn't open, and her heart rate went spiraling up like a bird spinning through clear air. But he reached across her and gave it a swift shove, and it came open. His arm brushed against her chest as he drew it back. But that was just an accident. The contact brief.